institution in order to trick people into handing over confidential information, such as passwords and credit card numbers. Phishing is a variation of the word fishing. Fishers set out hooks knowing that although most won't take the bait, someone just might. Some of these risks include attachments, scams, viruses, and hidden links to bad websites. When students were asked how important and secure they felt their information was, they had this to say.
It's incredibly important. I'm a mom, I work, just things like credit people don't always think about, but anything, anybody can get just about anything. So it's very important for me to have everything secured, all of my private information.
K-State's library is subscribed to hundreds of electronic resources for academics, but unfortunately, having resources like this makes colleges just like Kansas State University key targets for hackers.
I feel I trust K-State because they've done so much for me, so I feel like I have no worries that K-State will do anything to me because I pay tuition and everything, so I feel I can totally entrust them with my documents and such.
The K-State Help Desk says no one will ever ask for your EID or email password in an email for a legitimate reason. This includes the IT support staff and the Office of Information Security and Compliance. At Hill Library, I'm Tyler Waymeyer with MHK All Day.
The IT department has listed a few different ways to help you verify that the email you have received is not a scam. Watch for misspellings, poor grammar, or unusual forms of words. Pay close attention to the sender of the email and who you're replying to. And be highly suspicious of emails that tell you to send them copies to other people. If you have any questions, you can contact the IT Help Desk at 532-7722. While balancing language arts and math classes, 6th graders at Manhattan's Frank Bergman Elementary School are working hard to save the environment and raise money for their school. MHK All Day reporter Erica Young teamed up with reporter Molly Burt to get the insight on this story.
Science teacher Dennis Eichhoff is teaching his students to design, build, and sell handmade birdhouses this spring in an effort to counteract the worldwide loss of bird habitats.
And I put them together in teams, and we went ahead and started building these. Safety was number one thing we looked at, and so the students did the measurements on this, and we did some research on the birds and what kind of birds would nest in these particular birdhouses, and then we looked at the cost and how much it was going to cost.
The project stemmed from the class's mission to use the engineering design model to solve a real-world problem.
And that everything that is built in the world today goes through this process: design, engineers, prototypes, redesign, test. And so that's because it is a science project, that is the most important thing that I want my students to grasp from this project.
Eichhoff is not the only teacher taking a more hands-on approach to learning. His classroom was one of several that received tools and supplies paid for by a Makerspace grant. USD 383 Director Lucas Shivers says the grant, provided by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, bought supplies for all 9 district elementary schools. Its intent is to encourage students to take an active role in protecting the environment and improving their future.
A lot of them probably have never used power tools like this, so we went over a lot of the definition of the tools, and we talked about safety, how to use them. The students are overwhelmingly just really excited about the whole project. They can't wait to do it.
Eichhoff, who has a background in automotive repair and land surveying, hopes to provide his students with opportunities to use their hands and learn new trades.
The most rewarding part for me is watching the kids using the tools and constructing something with their own hands that they're able to look at a finished product and say, wow, I built this, this is fantastic.
Reporting from Bergman Elementary, this is MHK All Day.
The Bergman birdhouses can be ordered for $6.99 by emailing icoff@dennise@usd383.org. The proceeds will fund a positive behavior program at Bergman Elementary as well as a 6th grade end-of-the-year celebration. Whether it's budget cuts or rising tuition costs, students continue to pay the price as education in Kansas loses more and more ground coming up on MHK All Day. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and current news and trends around the Flint Hills. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MHK All Day.
for a spot that I love full well.
'Tis not in forest, nor yet in dell. Ever it holds me with magic spell.
I think of thee, alma mater.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Will carry thy banner high. Long, long, may thy colors fly.
Loyal to thee, thy children will swell the cry. Hail, 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 alma mater.
We may take different paths, but we all move forward, preparing for our future in the same historic library. We meet friends in the bustling student union and experience the exciting atmosphere of campus events. We appreciate individual interests and shared passions. Many different paths, one distinct destination. How does campus life become life experience? Connections, involvement, you. Knowledge is more than a piece of paper. It's being committed to leaving the world a better place, dedicated to limitless learning, conducting research that is tried and true, and then tried again, crossing disciplines, blazing trails, discovering better methods that lead to global solutions. What is the K-State graduate student experience? Unrestricted, proven, you.
Revisions are coming for Kansas education since plans have been proposed that could create changes such as the loss of standardized testing and reduced pay for teachers. Also, budget cuts that could affect not only the public school of Kansas, but also its state universities. Possible budget cuts vary from $128 million for public schools and $23 million for state universities. For now, the cuts to Kansas education are not finalized, but these changes could result in public schools having to tap into their reserve funds and colleges to raise their tuition for students. The Union Program Council and K-State debate team held an education reform meeting in the Union Courtyard on Thursday. Reporter Nico Zhu has more on the story.
The main argument in debate is whether to let federal government intervention to education system and how to change the current situation.
And the feds tie their willingness to provide this massive amount of loans to an outdated accreditation process.
First of all, the government is not accountable for all colleges. This is very obvious because there are many private institutions that back places such as Kansas State University. We can see this with things like the Koch brothers Institute and other institutions that back our college.
Since we're students, we have to deal with the cost of college, and we're experiencing what's going on in the classroom. So we're uniquely interested, I think.
The debate attracts people in different ages to talk about government intervention in education they have experienced.
Since the Department of Education came into being in 1979, what's their main job? And that's to inflict, federal policy on education across the nation, right? What happened in the 2000s? No Child Left Behind Act. What did that do? That created more people applicable to college than...
How to guide the direction of education and how to save costs become the focus of debate. At the same time, a Kansas Senate committee have endorsed a plan to cut the funding of education, which means they might be affected by the plan.
And what we need to be doing at the individual universities is making the most of every dollar we do get from the state.
At the end of the debate, they discussed and agreed that education systems should pay more attention to quality and make higher education more valuable. In Manhattan, I'm Nico Xun from MHK All Day.
Education is not only related to government, but also connects with our future.
K-State's 3-minute thesis competition, or 3MT, was held last night in the Alumni Center. The competition, presented by the Graduate School, Office of the Vice President for Research, and the University Distinguished Professors Group, gives master's and PhD students the opportunity to share their work in an exciting and educational way. After the preliminary rounds last Wednesday, 8 finalists were selected from the pool of 31. Zinmar Mient, who represented our very own A.Q. Miller School of Journalism, is working towards a master's in mass communications. Zin, who was the only master's student to reach the finals, has been working on her thesis for over a year now.
Journalism has always been my interest, and also I'm from Myanmar, so I wanted to do something with my country.
Her thesis, Peace Journalism and Framing in the Northern Rakhine State of Myanmar, points to how peace journalism can positively affect how the public reacts to different situations. Zin also discusses the negative impacts of war journalism, which encourages consumers to react in violent ways because they get more attention from the media. Zin was grateful for both the competition and the experience that it afforded her.
I got a lot of experience, yeah.
Tuan Gyoin, who is pursuing a PhD in chemistry, presented her thesis, Tiny Superhero Fights Against Cancer, and won both the People's Choice Award and first place overall. Tuan's thesis takes a closer look at how the body responds to cancer, specifically in the bones. Tuan shed light on how the microorganisms on our bodies work together to neutralize cancer cells, and how further research can expedite the process. After 2 years of working on her thesis, Tuan was happy to reflect on her journey.
Yeah, and very thankful for all the people who support me during the time that I prepare for the 3-minute thesis competition.
As the winner of K-State's 3MT, Tuan will receive a $500 scholarship and go on to the regional competition where she has a game plan and high hopes.
I think I will keep the same enthusiasm, energetic attitude, and then I think I will do very well there.
Coming up next in sports, the K-State women's and men's basketball teams were in action this past week. We have highlights and an update on the Manhattan High School basketball team, and we take a look at everything happening with K-State football following Coach Snyder's cancer announcement. All that and more next. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for the most recent news and trends in the Manhattan and the surrounding areas. We'll be back right after this short break.
I know a spot that I love full well.
'Tis not in forest, nor yet in dell. Ever it holds me with magic spell.
I think of thee, alma mater.
We'll carry thy banner high. Long, long, may thy colors fly.
Loyal to thee, thy children will swell the cry. Hail, 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 alma mater.
We may take different paths, but we all move forward, preparing for our future in the same historic library. We meet friends in the bustling student union and experience the exciting atmosphere of campus events. We appreciate individual interests and shared passions. Many different paths, one distinct destination. How does campus life become life experience? Connections, involvement, you. Knowledge is more than a piece of paper. It's being committed to leaving the world a better place, dedicated to limitless learning, conducting research that is tried and true, and then tried again, crossing disciplines, blazing trails, discovering better methods that lead to global solutions. What is the K-State graduate student experience? Unrestricted, proven, you.
This is MHK All Day Sports Report. I'm Matt Lucas. For what is supposed to be the off-season, it's been a huge week for K-State football following Coach Snyder's cancer announcement on Monday. Shortly after, K-State Athletics released news that Snyder's right-hand man, co-offensive and quarterback coach Del Miller will also be retiring. Miller has been with Snyder for 20 years through what has been K-State's greatest football dynasty. He was the first assistant coach hired by Snyder in 1989 and has played a major role in the development of nearly all K-State's modern football stars. So it's only fitting that his replacement will be former pupil and Heisman Trophy finalist Colin Klein, who under Miller led the 2012 Wildcats to a Big 12 championship. Klein, who has held several coaching positions after graduating both within K-State and at Northern Iowa, is not unequipped to handle the job, and will definitely not be on his own as he takes on this role with Miller closely overseeing the transition. While existing K-State coaches Andre Coleman and Dana DeMel will help with passing. With all this big news at the upper level, it's definitely looking to be an exciting 2017 season for the Wildcats. Wednesday night, the men's basketball took to the court when the Iowa State Cyclones visited Bramlage. It was a poor first half for the Wildcats, and the team never had the lead and entered halftime trailing the Cyclones 42-26. During the second half, the Cats outscored the Cyclones 53-45, but that wasn't enough for a victory. The Cyclones led the entire game and walked away with a win 87-79. The K-State men play again this Saturday at 6 p.m. in Austin, where they'll face the Texas Longhorns.
I thought we were very, we didn't fight on defense, let them do whatever they want. It was like, they would make this cut, that cut, got in the paint, kicked it. They jumped up and made shots, made tough shots. They got going on a run, started talking trash. And, we just didn't do a good job fighting it. But on the other end, we didn't put any pressure on them, on the defense, on their defense by getting it in the paint. I thought we did a much better job. Barry gets 21 and only 1 3, but he got to the paint, got in there and made them make plays.
The K-State women's basketball team played Iowa State this past Saturday at home. The Wildcats bench played a significant role in the game, scoring 40 points in the 80-68 win. Head coach Jeff Mitty told the Collegian that he was proud of his team and that everybody positively contributed to the outcome. The victory moved the Wildcats ranking up to number 24 and puts them within shooting range for March Madness. This Wednesday night, the women took on the West Virginia Mountaineers away in Morgantown. The Wildcats struggled to score in the first half and ended up losing 66-59. The team's away again this Saturday at Fort Worth, Texas, where they'll look for a win against TCU. In local sport, we sent reporter Tucker Love out to see what's been happening with Manhattan High School basketball.
Manhattan High School's boys basketball team is having another successful season. After last week's win over Emporia and Tuesday's win against Topeka High, the boys' 8-2 league record has them tied for first place in the Centennial League with Shawnee Heights and Washburn Rural. The team has won the Centennial League title 2 years in a row and are looking for their third.
I think if you're taking care of business within your league, then you're also setting yourself up for postseason.
After the end of the regular season, the team will begin preparing for sub-state play, which starts in March. In the past, they've struggled in sub-state, failing to advance to the state tournament. Both players and coaches are trying to stay focused on the present to prepare for state.
I feel like a little bit as we're approaching each day, like it's a brand new day, getting first practice and everything like that. We're really coming out and competing. I feel like we need to do that.
Inside this gym, the team does more than just play basketball, though. Head coach Benji George also works on character and leadership development with his team.
But I think the biggest thing that I expect from guys in terms of being leaders is being servant leaders first. And that means representing the team and representing the school and the community in a way that makes the team and the school and the community proud. It starts with that, being a quality human being first, and then basketball leadership second.
The boys play again Friday night against Highland Park in Topeka. With Channel 8 News, I'm Tucker Love.
It's going to be a big weekend for K-State sport with tennis, baseball and both women's and men's basketball all playing away. While locally, the K-State track and field meet is tonight at Ahern House, 6 p.m. and K-State rugby play a friendly this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. against a semi-pro Kansas City Blues. So get out and show your support. It's going to be a beautiful weekend and it's the perfect excuse to get out there and throw the ball around yourself. That's all from sports from me. Alicia has more on how the Snyder situation has been received on campus.
With Coach Bill Snyder's cancer announcement on Monday, students around the K-State campus are all reacting differently. MHK All Day reporter Darielle Nixon went out to see how K-State students are taking the news.
I feel about Bill Snyder being diagnosed with cancer. It was pretty sad, because I praise him so much. Being in the Kansas State marching band, he's even part of our chants and everything and our parades, and just the way he supports us makes me feel like I need to support him, and like I'm part of him and he's part of us.
I think it was something that kind of made you stop breathing for a second, you know. I think it was, shock, really, because when it was first announced, I think it was still a few days until we learned actually what it was, and with his age and high stress job and how long he's been at it, we really had no idea.
I know he's a tough cookie. I mean, Bill Snyder, he's kind of the hero to K-State family and everything, and he's gonna make it through it. I know that for sure.
I was kind of surprised because I actually covered the K-State football team, so throughout, late in the season, all the way through the bowl game, apparently this, had been going on. So it was kind of surprising. But if there's anybody that can fight through that, it would be him.
Well, I actually read his statement that he put out the day it was released, and I was, of course, very upset because, here at K-State we see him sort of as family, and he's a very prominent member, and we kind of worship him, so it's kind of crazy.
I remember one time we were at a game and the guys were losing really bad, and they lost really bad, and everybody left the stadium except for the band, and he came personally and just saluted us, gave us a kiss goodbye, and it was just great. Just the way he feels that our support for him is as big as his support for us.
I would say, Coach, you're a fighter. You'll get through this, and I look forward to seeing you during spring ball.
This really proves how tight of a family we are. We don't look at him as a coach. We look at him, as a lot of people like to say, kind of our unofficial grandpa, honestly. So we're a family, and he's kind of at the top, so we're hoping he's okay.
Corey Pinkett, who is the director of the Student Athlete Development, will be off to start her new job with NACWAA in Kansas City.
At K-State in August of 2013. Kansas State has been amazing, truly amazing. The people, the students, it's just been a great opportunity, great experience. I never would have in a million years thought I'd be in Kansas. Never.
Corey attended the University of Georgia in 2006 through 2010, double majoring in marketing and sports management. She then went out to the University of Central Florida to get her master's in sports business management and business administration.
Corey's been just a huge part of our staff these past few years. We're really going to miss her. I think the thing we'll miss most about Corey is just her joyful smile every day that we see, and sometimes you take that for granted with people when you have them around every day like that. Corey's, I think what makes her genuinely cares about what she's doing every day, and it's not work to her. She comes to work every day because she loves working with the student athletes, and she loved what she did, and she genuinely cared about them, and I think that's what makes her so special, and that's hard to find in a person, someone that doesn't really view their job as a job, but views it kind of as their mission and their lot in life, and I think that's what makes Corey so special.
According to student athletes, Corey has been a huge impact in their lives and will be missed at Kansas State. Her role was to provide assistance for them through comprehensive life skill programming. Manhattan, Erica Young, MHK, All Day.
I'd love to thank everybody in the K-State family and K-State Athletics family for helping to make my experience here truly exceptional and unforgettable. I am super grateful for the family that we were able to develop and the community we were able to create, and I hope that these connections can continue to remain even after I leave K-State. Thanks for everything. Go Cats!
Hey Corey, we just wanted to let you know how much we're going to miss you. You've impacted all of our lives in such a positive way. We hate seeing you go, but we know that you've got great things ahead of you. We love you, Corey. Good luck.
Corey Pinkett will be missed by many and says she will continue to help student athletes while starting her new career. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we have a few in-studio special guests.
Oh man, the fans, Manhattan, Octagon is doing, it's a tough place to play, we feed off the energy.
Griezmann, does she hit a forward? Oh my goodness, in the zone!
Lewis running the floor, catches, spins, and scores. How about that footwork? K-State have won in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
The limestone embedded in our history is the foundation of who we have become and what we can become tomorrow. We find inspiration in the past, new possibilities in our present, and anticipation for tomorrow's journey. Yesterday's triumphs are today's proud traditions, a transformation where a hall becomes a home, students become family, and research becomes reality. How do we build upon K-State's strong foundation? Innovation, collaboration, you.
Hi, I'm Tunde from Lagos, Nigeria.
And I'm Ronnie from Spring Hill, Kansas.
During festivals, I wear my kaftan.
On K-State game days, I wear purple and a foam finger.
I've never been to an American football game.
I've never been out of this country. You want to go tailgating this weekend?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Would you happen to have a purple kaftan?
Only for game days.
K-State students here to talk to host Maya Hodge about their experience of being both college students and taking on the music industry. Maya?
Thank you, Alicia. I'm here with Hype Man Kel, Super Shack Gonzo, and DJ Plan B. What year are you guys currently in school?
I'm a junior. I'm a senior, graduating in May, hopefully. And I just graduated last May.
Oh, that's good. So how did you all meet?
Well, it's kind of crazy because we were doing a Thursday night radio show called Thirsty Thursday Radio at school, and then he came and did an interview with us, and then kind of from there we kind of just started taking on doing shows and concerts and stuff.
That's cool. So Shaq, you have performed with major artists like 21 Savage and Lil Uzi Vert. How has that experience been performing with them?
Crazy. It was fun. It was a good time, especially with these people on stage with me.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. That's all the time that we have. We want to go ahead and throw it back to Alicia at the desk.
That's all the time we have for this week. We'll be back next week with the latest news and trends around Manhattan, Junction City, and the Flint Hills. Have a great day.
This is MHK All Day.